Hello friends, how are you? So in our last video, I had discussed with you about intuition, like what is intuition, what are the advantages of following it, and what is the what is the requirement, basically how do we calm down our mind in order to listen to our intuition, right? So just to recap, intuition is the best guide in this world, okay? It is always available to us, it's always guiding us. By following our intuition, we can improve the quality of our life significantly. Okay, it makes us positive, calm, strong, confident, secure, wise. It brings a lot of magic to our life because once we start following it, we start attracting good people, good opportunities, good events, good circumstances, everything good we start attracting in our life. Okay, so intuition is very, very powerful. Okay, if you really follow it, your life will change. Now, the question arises, how do we follow it? Okay, the first thing which we need to do is we need to calm down our chaotic mind because our mind is full of lot of thoughts, right? There are a lot of thoughts going on in our mind. There can be thoughts of worry, fear, anxiety. There can be thoughts of past, present. Present is less, but mostly past or future. And because of that, our mind is always occupied with some thought or another. Okay. And due to that, what happens when our mind is filled with so many thoughts, our intuition is there, but we will not be able to listen to it. So it gets subsided, it gets suppressed because of all the chaos going on in the mind. So in order to listen to our intuition, the first thing which we need to do is we need to calm down our mind. Okay, and the best way to calm down our mind is meditation. If you do meditation every day for 5 to 10 minutes, that would also help you gradually to calm down your mind. And in fact, what happens when you start doing meditation, you will realize that sometimes you will get intuitive guidance, not just during meditation, but even after meditation. So, meditation really helps you to calm down your mind and then start listening to your intuition. Okay, there are other ways also of calming down our mind. In fact, there's self hypnosis, which also helps to calm down the mind. But what I have found personally is for me, the meditation works like anything. So, and it is the most effective tool which I have found, which calms down our mind and helps us to listen to our inner voice or intuition. Okay, so that is the first thing. Now, the second thing is once we have done the groundwork, we have calmed down our mind by doing the meditation, right? Every day, daily meditation. Now, the second thing is we need to ask a question to ourselves. Okay. Now, what type of question should we ask? So, the question which I ask to myself in order to get the intuitive guidance is, what should I do? Right? Like, if I'm in a given situation, any problem, challenge, or any guidance I'm requiring, I just ask myself, what should I do? Right? So, what I don't want to do is, I don't want to give options to my intuition, right? Because my intuition is the voice of God, Almighty, universal power. It knows everything. So, I don't have to give it a choice, I don't have to give it an option, right? Whether uh, I don't have to ask my intuition, okay, should I do A or should I do B? Rather, I would ask it, what should I do? Because I don't know the possibilities, right? My intuition can guide me into anything. It, it can even guide me towards the things which I have never even imagined, right? Many times we hear that unexpected things happen in life, right? And sometimes very good things happen which we never even imagined. So rather than giving choice to our intuition, right, we should actually ask, what should I do? Right? So then our intuition can guide us in a free way rather than being limited by the choices which we are giving. Okay? So that is the second step. First step was do meditation. Second step was ask yourself, what should I do? Okay. The third step is now, how do I recognize? So, after I have asked myself, what should I do? So, there will be some thought, right? There will be something which will come in inside us, something will speak to us, right? So, how do we recognize whether it's our intuition or it's something else? So, the way to recognize it is the intuition always feels good to us. Okay, so if you are getting an intuitive guidance, it will feel good to us. If it doesn't feel good to you, that means it's not your intuition. I will give you a simple example. Suppose my friend calls me and tells me that okay, let's meet for dinner today. And for some reason I don't feel like going or I don't feel like meeting him. So that will be a indication that my intuition is telling me not to do that. And suppose I feel good about it, I feel excited about it, then that's what my intuition is telling me to do. Okay, so we always need to check inside how we are feeling. If we are feeling good, that means our intuition is telling us to follow that path. If something doesn't feel good, that means our intuition is telling us not to go on this path. Okay, so in our intuition basically speaks in the form of feelings most of the time. Okay, so if on a day it can be, an intuition doesn't need to be applied on big things, it can be applied even on small things, right? So if we are just sitting on a Friday night and not knowing whether we should go to a party, whether we should go for a walk or meet a friend or whatever, we can just check with our intuition what it feels like doing, and whatever we feel like doing, we can do that, right? And that will basically give us the fulfillment, the satisfaction, and the contentment inside. Because that's what happens with intuition, right? Once you follow your intuition, you get a lot of satisfaction, contentment, peace, calm, positiveness inside, right? So that's very important. So the third thing which I mentioned is intuition always feels good to you. So if anything, any thought, if any suggestion or any guidance doesn't feel good to you, that means it's not your intuition. If it feels good to you, that is what your intuition is. Okay? So that is the third thing. Now, the fourth thing is intuition is the first thought which comes in your mind. Okay. So, what happens is whenever you are faced with any problem, any challenge, or whenever you have to take any decision, there will be a first thought which will immediately click to you. And that first thought is your intuition. After that first thought, many thoughts will come. There may be fearing thoughts, worrying thoughts, anxiety, excitement. Those are the thoughts of your mind, not intuition. Your intuition is the first thought which has come to your mind. Okay, so recently what happened, I had to take a decision and I was not sure. I was going in the web of thoughts, a lot of thoughts were going on in my mind. So I was utterly confused what to do, what not to do. I had few choices and I was totally confused between them. So then what I did is, out of so much of confusion, I just stopped myself and just checked, okay, what was the first thought which I had got? And as soon as I realized, okay, this was the first thought I got, and I just checked then the what, how does it feel to me? And it felt nice to me, and I immediately recognized that's what I need to do. So what usually happens is like our mind gets activated after our intuition, right? And it will then start telling you, okay, this is not possible. How can I do that? I don't have the resources, this, that. So because of those constraints, our intuitive voice gets suppressed. We don't have to do that. We just need to check what was our first thought or first feeling. And that's what our intuition is, right? So this is very important. The fourth point, what I mentioned is check. Okay, check what was the first thought or the feeling. Okay, and also check if it feels good or not. If it feels, because your mind may play with you, right? You don't know. I mean, you may think, okay, this was my first thought, but who knows whether it was your mind's thought or there was a thought before that also. So it's always better to check whether it's your first thought and also whether it feels good to you or not. Because feeling is the key. If it doesn't feel good to you, it's not your intuition. Okay. Now, after that, the fifth thing what I want to mention to you is intuition always guides us on the next step. Okay, there may be some exceptions, but most of the time, intuition will guide you on the next step. It will not show you the whole staircase. Okay, so if you whenever you are setting, suppose I want to plan about something 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, intuition will not guide me on that. Okay, very simple. Intuition guides us on the next step. The next step can be today, tomorrow, next hour, whatever. But next step is where the intuition guides us. It doesn't guide us on the whole thing. Okay, so we will not come to know the whole plan of the universe, right? We just know that what is the next action we need to take. That's what intuition tells us. It doesn't tell us, okay, if you do that, do that, do that, do that, and then you will reach this place. It will not reveal those things to us. It will just tell us what we need to do next. Okay, what is the next step which we need to take, and that is what our intuition will tell us. Okay, so be very don't expect like a full step of, I mean, all the steps with plan, the whole plan guiding you what to do, what not to do. Don't expect that. Intuition will most of the time guide you on the next step. What is the next step you need to take? Okay, so it's very important to you follow. So let me recap the steps which I mentioned. The first step which I said, meditation. Do meditation, calm down your mind so that the groundwork is done to listen to your intuition. The second point I mentioned is ask a question. Ask a question to yourself, what should I do? So that an answer comes from inside you in form of intuition. Third thing, check your feeling. How does it feel? The particular suggestion or the guidance, if it feels good to you, that's your intuition. If it doesn't feel to you good to you, that's not your intuition. Okay. The fourth thing I mentioned, first thought. Check what was your first thought. Whatever is your first thought, that's your intuition. All other thoughts are not your intuition. Okay, and intuition will always feel good. Just to clarify, intuition always feels good. So even if you are checking like after 2 days, 3 days, the first thought would have come and it will still feel good to you even now. Okay, and the fifth point I mentioned is intuition guides us on the next step. It doesn't show us the whole staircase. Okay, so if we want to know the whole plan of the universe, we will not come to know. Universe will just tell us, be patient, keep following one step at a time, and I will take you where you are destined to go. So this is very important. We need to understand like intuition takes us very close to the purpose of our life. It takes us very close to where we want to go, where we want to be. It fulfills our true wants, the real wants. So basically, we just need to follow those nudges, those feelings, what we are feeling inside. We just need to follow them. So we don't need to force anything. We don't need to apply our mind there. Okay. So what happens is like many times we of course we will go into the loop of reasoning analysis, all sort of analysis of gain loss, whether I should do that, do this. So those are the functions of mind. They are definitely useful, but most of the time it it is not useful. That's why the intuition comes into the play. Intuition will not require any reasoning, any analysis from your mind. It will directly give you the suggestion or the guidance. You just need to follow it. That's it. It doesn't require any reasoning. If you are doing any reasoning analysis, then it is not your intuition. It is your mind. Let's be very clear about it. Because if you think that, okay, there is a mind, there is a thought going on in my mind, plus, minus, reasoning, analysis, gain, loss, whether should I follow this, should I not follow that. So that's not your intuition, that's your mind. Okay, so intuition comes directly without any reasoning, without any analysis, because intuition is the most powerful thing we have. And it is the voice of God, the universe, the Almighty. It is most powerful thing. Therefore, it doesn't require any reasoning, any analysis. It directly comes to us and just tells us to do this, to follow this. Okay. So we just need to follow the intuitive path, and our life will be magical, full of satisfaction, contentment. We'll start becoming fearless, we'll start becoming calm, positive, strong, secure from inside. So, a lot of good things will start attracting in life. And there are a lot of things I want to talk to you about intuition. I will talk to you in further videos. Thank you.